Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Wisdom Loop. So we live in a day and age that compassion is deemed to be boring because, as we will see, there is no money to be made from compassion. Money is in bellicose behavior. Major news networks camouflage their love for hostile and condescending language with the emphasis on open dialogue. Political commentators from supposedly opposite ends of the political spectrums have one thing in common. One important thing: they all benefit from division, from political polarization. Believe it or not, this important common interest actually makes them buddies because their livelihood depends on each other. If people in the liberal/democratic media never say anything outrageous, others in conservative/Republican media have nothing to attack or make fun of, and vice versa. Then where would they get their viewers if they don't attack anyone?
So Michelle Thompson, she has been diagnosed with something known as persistent sexual arousal syndrome. She was looking...
Sorry.
I'm an Ellie. This country is so screwed up, man.
Is that over? Please don't do that again. I don't know if you've noticed, but one easy way to get viewers on YouTube these days is to pick titles like X destroys Y in such and such debate. Because the hatred they cultivated in us for each other needs to be fed by humiliation and destruction of one another. And the very same people that fuel our hatred also cash in on it by supplying us with what makes us feel good. And all of this is supposed to be normal because our founding fathers also hated each other. But there's no point to be stuck in the hatred loop. As a matter of fact, I would say it's much better to be stuck in the wisdom loop. Don't you think? Too cheesy? Okay, let's face it, social and ideological divisions are much more dangerous in the day of internet and social media because things get blown out of proportion in a much higher degree. If in the past lie would get halfway around the world before truth had a chance to put its pants on, today lie can get to the end of the galaxy before truth has a chance to even find its pants. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that we all have to agree on everything. I fully agree with John Milton and John Stuart Mill that the truth will emerge in a competition of ideas in a free, open public discourse, aka marketplace of ideas. But if the free exchange of ideas is the road to the truth, compassion is the light that helps you see the road. Believe it or not, oftentimes the truth is just right there if things are seen in the light of compassion. Suddenly keeping your borders secure and your country safe without cruelty is not that difficult. And you realize that you can be a fierce critic of the politics and even personality of President Trump, but reducing his female supporters to their sexuality and saying that any woman who voted for Donald Trump has no self-respect doesn't just help anybody. It's just not cool. Because by saying that, you discount this possibility that maybe, just maybe, because of the neglect of the previous administrations, some women in this country might actually be in such hardship that the moral decency of a candidate no longer matters to them when that candidate is seen as the only option for change. And compassion helps you see that possibility. Compassion also comes handy when you tell someone that just because they are of a different race and they never experienced your troubles, they would never understand you. But even identical twins don't have similar life experiences. But just because we don't have identical life experiences, it doesn't mean that we should just give up focusing on what we have in common. When you tell someone that by default they're unable to understand what it's like to be you, what you're basically saying that we are using different currencies in the marketplace of ideas. And that makes the exchange of thoughts impossible. We might as well just live in different countries. Compassion allows people to see the bigger truth. The fact that giving you a chance to understand my word, even if you get it wrong, is much better than rejecting your effort in understanding me thinking that they would never get it right. And at the very moment that people open up to each other, the dawn of a better world becomes visible. Now tell me, would you still think compassion is boring if you knew that your happiness and the happiness of future generations was dependent on it? So go right ahead and compassion away, my fellow Americans. It's cool.